Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news and answer your questions live. If this is your first time watching us, go ahead and start asking your questions in the comment section down below, and we will get to them before the end of the show. But today we possibly have the biggest leak I've revealed about the Note 8, and that is we finally have a concrete feature that it's going to have, and it's some really cool ones. It's actually the first things that's gotten me excited about the Note 8. So let's get to it. Alright, we have their actual, whoops, sorry, I lost something right there. Okay, now we have their actual camera module that they are going to use for the Note 8. And now we know it's going to be a dual lens setup, but we haven't known what is it going to be used for. And that's the real big thing about this. What is it going to be used for has been the primary thing. Oh, well, it's going to be like an iPhone or like a OnePlus. It's going to have a 2x zoom. No, it's not. It's going to have a 3x zoom, and they're going to have a lot of features that they're adding to it that make it really exciting. So let's go over this. So take a look at this, guys. We have a lot of stuff here, but here's where it gets to the actual dual cameras and what they're being used for. First and foremost, it's actually being set up to create a super night shot. Basically, the second camera is going to be able to focus more and be able to approximate the light you need much better than the single system it currently has, by having the second lens tell it how much light the back needs compared to how much light the front needs, and getting your overall shot better lit in low light. Now this is really big because this is a feature that no other dual camera has done. So that's really cool, the fact that we're actually getting this right from the get-go to have that ability. Now you're also having this again for, not only low light, but also the color are going to be more vibrant, of course, because if you're getting the sensor, the image sensor, to work with both lenses, you're actually getting a much better color and brightness aspect. So that's really cool. Of course, we have the depth application. So you guys all know this as portrait mode on the iPhone, a bokeh effect for professional cameras, and Samsung has had this for a while now called selective focus. However, they're changing the name to refocusing, it looks like. And the whole idea behind this is that you can actually, of course, have it blur the back, or you can have it blur the front. Now, selective focus can currently do this on your Galaxy S8. If you go into modes, selective focus has this ability. But the whole idea behind a dual lens setup is, of course, being able to do it instantaneously, as well as, again, you're going to be able to have both. You're going to be able to have the background clear and the front blurred, or vice versa, which is what everyone else does. So that's a really cool application that they're gonna get ability to have with the dual lens. But here's the big reveal that I've been waiting for. Finally, we have confirmation, 3x optical zoom. That's what I've wanted. 2x is just too little. I was at a wedding recently and I was trying to zoom in with my OnePlus, and 2x just wasn't good enough. I had to do digital zoom, and to get it to basically 3x or 2.9 or 2.7, just because it wasn't close enough with just 2x zoom. So this is a big impression, and this gives you an idea of what 3x optical zoom looks like. So if you can see in these photos right here, you have, again, the building where it is, and with a 3x zoom, much better quality, really good, and you can see the lighting, everything looks better. Because it's showing you, first of all, the regular zoom, which this one is going to be digital, and the one on the far right is going to be optical. So much better overall look to it. So really cool in seeing just how the difference is right here. Very excited for that. This is something that I have been wanting for the longest time, just because I used to do photography, I used to do all that kind of stuff. So really big fan of those kind of features being brought in. There's only one feature missing on a on a camera that SLRs have, that professional cameras have, and to me that's zoom. Zoom is the biggest thing missing. We have the ability to take raw photos, and again, I don't know if it'll ever be as good as professional cameras, but zoom is a big missing factor, and this gets us that much closer to being able to have actual zoom, which doesn't make us lose the quality. To me, optical zoom is way better than the wide angle, I know I might be very far in between from that. A lot of people love the wide angle, but for me, it gets the fisheye going. It's just not for me. I rather have an additional camera clamp to do that than to do the few times I need it compared to the more times I need actual zoom. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys excited about the 3x optical zoom? Because that's one thing I'm definitely excited about. And again, this just going over the same thing for brighter low light shots, but also better high dynamic range shots. It shows you the whole thing between a dual camera versus single camera and seeing the difference between them and how the lighting is so much better. But not only that, you also get the high dynamic range. So you're actually going to be able to get even better high dynamic range than there is now, which is crazy because of the fact that with high dynamic range, it is really impressive. Why do I say that? Because Samsung currently has probably the best high dynamic range in smartphones. If you're wondering why people are always saying that, you know, how is Samsung, or why is Samsung being considered one of the better cameras out right now? It's because of this. High dynamic range is a huge aspect to it, and something that if it even gets better than this is going to be a big reason for me, because I already see the questions about, you know, how is the Note 8 going to compare to the S8? This right here, look at the difference. That's your S8 versus Note 8 right there. That is the difference. So for that alone, it's worth it for me for the upgrade. Well, those two. So I want better low light, better light in the daytime when the sun's really bright, and of course I also want to go back to here, the 3x zoom. Those three features alone are completely worth it for me to jump to the Note 8 instead of the S8. Alright, again we go over refocusing. Now it looks like for refocus, Samsung is actually going to be able to do 3 sets this time. So for selective focus, if you have seen that on the S8 or the Note 7 or the Note 5 or any of those phones, selective focus allows you to either bring the front to focus and the back to blur out, or the background to focus and the front to blur out. However, the Note 8 will be able to 3-step refocus, meaning you can actually take the middle, which is crazy to me. That's it. The fact that it's going to be able to do it instantaneous, and the fact that you're going to be able to do it that well, is really kind of amazing to me. I really can't wait to play with that feature more than probably a lot of other features, just playing, seeing how well it can do, and if it can live up to this kind of hype. Alright, not only that, but they have this really cool effect, and this is 2 features that no other smartphone, as far as I know, has built into it, and this is called the background effect. I don't know what you want to call this. It's kind of like a tunneling effect, where you're blurring out everything around it in like a sphere kind of circle, and only focusing in on one thing. It kind of reminds me of like when you see in TV shows and movies when someone's waking up kind of thing, or someone's going through something, whether it be like a virtual reality or something along those lines, and you see the sphere of something clear, and it's kind of like a tunnel effect, and that is the only clear part you're seeing is just that. So that's a really interesting feature. I'm curious to see how it's going to look when it comes out, but that's a really cool feature to say the least. And finally, perspective view. Now, I'm not really sure how this works, to be honest. I don't know if you're going to have to go around an object for this, but perspective view is kind of being able to do a 180 kind of profiling of a subject. It basically is going to take the zoom camera and being able to tell the depth of everything behind you, so that it can kind of get a layout of everything around you. That's a really cool, interesting feature. It looks like to me it's going to be an even better, what was that camera feature called? Let me see. I'm going to check on my S8 right now. The camera feature was called virtual shot before. So perspective view looks like an enhanced virtual shot. Virtual shot, you can kind of think of it as the Matrix shot. So when Trinity, in the opening scene of the original Matrix movie, did that whole kick thing, and she went like this with the crane style, and basically you had camera shots all around her, and that is looking like what this could be, but it looks like it could be instantaneous, which is really cool. Again, guys, these are probably the most features we have got revealed about the Note 8 to date. Something I'm very excited for. It literally, I just got word of this right before this, so really very excited to talk about this. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about all of these features. 3x zoom, better low light, better high dynamic range, some interesting effects with background blur or background effect, as well as perspective view. So 5 new features coming from the Note 8's camera. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below as we go over the rest of the news. It was funny because the rest of the news, I thought it was, it's going to be a rather slow day, just because we had 3 videos this week covering other news that was revealed. There's going to be a new Samsung phone. We don't know what it is, but we did a video on that, so check out that. But speaking of that video, we talked about how a new Samsung phone just went through the FCC, and that only happens, or got its certification rather, for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and that only happens when a phone is about to be released. And so we have it here with the Note 8. The Note 8 makes its way to FCC, so it is ready for its announcement coming in August 23rd. And then, of course, we are going to get the launch in September 15th, it looks like right now. Now, the Note 8 is also said to offer a deep blue. Now, this is a different blue from the coral blue that came out last year. This one is going to be more interesting in terms of how overall the coral blue was a lighter blue. This one's going to be a deep blue, so a darker blue. I'm really curious to see the color. Quite frankly, I like the new colors that Samsung comes out with, so this one I'll get as soon as it comes out. I will probably get the coral blue, or sorry, the deep blue, if it wows me like the coral blue did last year. Alright, it looks like also Samsung is going to announce some Bixby powered earphones alongside of the Note 8. Now, these will be wireless headphones just like the Icon X's. For those of you who don't know, picture earpods but waterproof, and AirPods but waterproof, smaller, and shorter battery life. Though that was the big thing about them and why they didn't succeed, was shorter battery life than the AirPods and not a quick recharge in comparison to it. So overall, it's a really interesting feature if Samsung comes out with it. I don't know if I'm that inclined to do a Bixby headphone thing, but I'll try it out and see how it works. I just wonder if you're not going to be able to replace Bixby with Google Assistant, because obviously that's what they did with the S8. Alright, Google CEO also promises 11 Daydream VR compatible Android phones by the end of 2017. Currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, I think at most. So we still have about 6 more to go, so that's very interesting. Alright, I had to at least mention this news. We do not still have too much information on it, but Trump swears that Apple CEO Tim Cook has promised to build 3 factories in the US. Apple has not commented on this, and this happened, what, 5 days ago? So I don't know how true this is. I really am very interested to see if it is, because currently the only parts that are being made for iPhone products or Apple products in general in the US are Samsung factories. Samsung makes a lot of the parts for the iPhone in the US, including the processors. So the A10, the A10X are all made in the US by Samsung. So those are some of the parts. Also, some memory is made in Irvine, California, I believe. So there's lots of different places where Samsung manufactures parts for Apple products, whether it be MacBook or whether it be the iPad or whether it be the iPhone. But those are currently the only parts that I know of that are made in the US. If they launch 3 factories here, first of all, I do not believe that it's going to be Apple that launches the factories. I don't believe that at all. I believe, if anything, it could be Foxconn launching the factories, or another manufacturer launching the factories. You know, we know that they spent a lot of money on Sharp in order to make sure that, so we get OLED panels, and they're really trying to get, again, away from Samsung, because they are going to make Samsung a lot of money over the next year, filling out those 160 OLED panels till next year's iPhone. So that's really big for Samsung, because every single one of the iPhone X's are going to have a Samsung OLED panel. and they're really trying to back like LG. They're trying to make these new factories for OLED displays. So it's gonna be really curious how it all goes down. All right, and then we have the Moto Z2 Force price. So I just wanted to show this to you guys so you guys know, depending on your carrier, it is going to depend on the Moto Z2 price. So just so you know, the Moto Z2 price is the most expensive at AT&T, followed by Sprint, followed by Verizon, and T-Mobile is always usually the cheapest. So T-Mobile is going to be the cheapest at $750. AT&T will go up to $810. And they have some BOGO offers right now, or you get a free instant the projector, which values at $300. So if you do want to get the Moto Z2 Force, these are your best offers. T-Mobile and Sprint have a BOGO on top of the free projector. So those are the things you should know about for the Moto Z2 launch. All right, HTC standalone Vive headset. It looks like it's only going to China, at least first. So this is really disappointing if true, that it looks like China might be the only one to get it starting off. So very curious to see how that goes. And finally, if you haven't heard, the reason why Samsung is doing so well right now is because, again, they make processors for everything about it. Everything about it when it comes to all of the stuff that has to do with processors for Apple and for their own phones at Samsung, the Exynos chips. And they made a lot of Qualcomm chips this year too. All of the Snapdragon 835s were majority made by Samsung. So that's really big, and that is the reason why Samsung is now the largest chip manufacturer and has actually beat out Intel. Which again, this is pretty impressive considering that Intel has had this reign for 24 years without any near competition from AMD. And obviously that was the closest competition until Samsung came along. And Intel has already said they're out of the wearable business, so they're no longer making processors for that, as Samsung makes processors for their smartwatch. This isn't it, but they make processors for their watch. You have to realize that Intel is really kind of like, they need to do something bigger because their gaming consoles, that's where AMD cornered the market. AMD is pretty much in, and Intel is doing great when it comes to computers, but that's it. They have not really done well in mobile. They've already exited wearables, so it's kind of curious where is they're going to make their next mark, because Samsung has completely taken over mobile, and they have a pretty good ability on wearables as well. Alright guys, now the last bit of news is just a preview for next week. We are not going to talk about Samsung's record-breaking profits because we're waiting for Apple to make their announcement. As soon as Apple makes their announcement, we're going to go over both of them and really go over them all together. So that's what's going to be great when it comes to it, is that you're going to be talking about Samsung and Apple and seeing this quarter how big of a difference it was. Because if you remember when we talked over Q1 profits, it's a big thing. Like people were like, "Oh man, see, Apple's killing it. Samsung is, is still feeling it from the Note." And I told everyone, I guarantee you, Samsung will make its biggest profits ever in Q2 because of the S8. I'm getting really good at this predicting stuff, aren't I? All right, guys. Now let's get to your questions in the comment section down below. Actually, before we do that, I did want to get to one thing just because I saw that question already. And it's going to take me a second, guys, so I just want to, let's see. So, someone asked, did I get an invitation for Samsung Unpacked event? And a lot of you guys have known, unfortunately we've been reaching out, and you guys have been reaching out, and I really appreciate it, on Twitter, on Facebook, and all these places, and saying that, hey, we really wanted to let you guys, let me know that you've told Samsung that you've reached out to them, and I'm going to take a page from one of our viewers, Maria. She did let me know that another reviewer had people email them. So here's the thing. This is a PR company that represents Samsung for certain things. However, they have moved to a new PR company for product and demo reviews. Now, I have reached out to both of these companies. However, again, I have not heard back about any invitation. So I'm pretty much at, we're not going to go to Samsung Unpacked. I'm pretty much there. It's just, you know, it is what it is. That's what's going to happen. But I did want to, just because we'll give it one last try kind of thing. So I did want to show you guys the two emails. If you guys want to email them, that is up to you. I would obviously appreciate it. If we go, you know, I'm going to do a video instantly about how you guys got us to go to the Samsung Unpacked event, which would be amazing. But if we don't go, hey, I'm still going to cover it. I'm going to watch it live, cover it all, so that'll be great. So that's what we're going to do. So let's show you guys. So these are the email addresses. This is the email address, and I'm going to copy this right now and paste it on the chat. So if you're watching live, you'll be able to see this right now. And these are the emails. So if you guys want to email them and say, hey, send this guy to the Unpacked event, by all means do it. I would be grateful forever if we can go, but I don't think we're going to be able to. But here it is. If you're watching after the fact, email them. Just say, hey, you know, the YouTube tech guy wants to go. He hasn't got an invitation. See if we can make it happen. I already think if I was going to get an invitation, I would have got it already. Haven't heard back from this company, so I think it's over. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I am sorry if this feels like, again, like I know some trolls always say like, oh man, you're begging and all this kind of stuff and all that. I'm just seeing it as like, look, use the tools I have available to me. And if you guys want to put in the effort to email them, I mean, I am just letting you guys know that you can. If you guys don't, then that's fine. Like I'm not telling you, oh, I'm going to be very hurt if you guys don't do it. No, I completely understand. But just thought I'd do that. And I'll let you know what happens. But no, I did not get an invitation to Samsung Unpacked event, but at least we got this really cool features about the Note 8 camera reveal, and you got to make sure to share this video, just share everyone about that. All right, now let's get back to all of your questions. I'm gonna drink from my Game of Thrones mug, and all right, let's see. What do you think about the Note 8 so far? When are you going to post your video on about the Note 8 rumor? Which Note 8 rumor? The video that I did right now? I mean, that obviously I'm posting. But what do I think about the Note 8? Honestly, this got me excited about it. This whole thing that we revealed today got me really excited about the Note 8. If you are just coming in, this whole thing got me really, really excited about the Note 8 launch. I'm really excited. 3x zoom I've been wanting in phones forever. So the fact that we're finally getting it is super awesome to me. I'm excited as can be about it. That really got me like, oh man. And the fact of how Samsung is using it to better improve their low light performance, to better improve their high dynamic range, to get us these cool different features. Very excited for it. And yeah, I'm very happy. When will, do you think the iPhone will be a waste of money? All the features and upgrades have already been done on Samsung wireless charging, etc. Yeah, but they haven't been done with the iOS operating system. And that's what you have to understand. Like, if you have a Samsung, will a lot of these iPhone features be groundbreaking? No, but if you have an iPhone, they will be. And if you are using an operating system, then that is what you want, and you're always like wowed by new features for that, you know? So no matter what, it is impressive, but it's just a matter of which OS you really care about. How many phones do you have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 phones right now. What happened to the Essential phone? Fail? I mean, the Essential phone is, I don't think it's fully out yet, if I'm not mistaken. I think the reviewers are barely getting devices. But yeah, I mean, I told you guys from the beginning, the Essential phone would be a flop just because you cannot come into the market at that high of a price point. You have to come like OnePlus did. OnePlus came in at $400 starting off, and they were like, look, this is a features that flagships only have, and we're bringing it to you right here at this price point. That is how you enter our market. The Essential phone was a proof of concept, and that's about it. It was never going to do amazing sales or anything like that. It would never sell 1 million phones. Ricky, I seen your website. I seen you in the white blazer looking dapper. Oh, my friend. Oh, that's funny. That's actually my wedding photo, but it was, you know, a professional done photo. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use this on the website. When will the next Gear VR for the S8 Plus be released? Will it be compatible with the Note 8? I do believe that they could have a new Gear VR for the Note 8, but that is only if the Note 8 is going to have the 4K display we're expecting it to have. So if it does, then yes, I do believe we're going to have a new one. And if it does, then yes, I do believe it'll be backwards compatible with the S8. Are you going to do a video on the side-by-side comparison between Bixby and Siri? I feel like I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison between Bixby and Siri when we get it on the Note 8 and when we have iOS 11 full version, not the beta, because then Siri is going to have a lot of improvements. So I think it'll be a much better comparison once we have the Note 8 and iOS 11 full version. That's when I'll get it. Are you ready for the Note 8? What did be the one thing you want the Note 8 on and the Gear S4? I mean, the one thing on the Note 8 that I really want is a lot of these camera features, so I'm very happy with those. For the S4, I just want them to have a big watch and a small watch. That's it. Have a big watch to really cater towards, you know, a big screen that I need, while having a small, cute watch that like my mom and my wife would want on their side. Like my mom and my wife both have the Gear S2. The Gear S3 is too big for them. But the Gear S2 is too small for me, and the Gear S3 is better watch size for me. This isn't the Gear S3, it's the Fossil watch I'm reviewing, but it's about the same watch size. What is Bixby going to be like on the Note 8? Will it be like the S8? I'm sure Bixby will have some improvements. I heard the Note 8 will have a wide angle and an optical zoom. I don't think so. I think it's still going to be a 1.7 aperture, and the wide angle will be, I mean, if it's going to be wider, it's going to be basically around the same, maybe a little bit wider than the current camera. But you have to realize this, the the S8 already has one of the widest angle cameras that are stock, that are not labeled as a secondary camera that's wide angle. It has a really wide angle camera compared to most. It just doesn't have the widest angle that like you get from a G6 that really gives you that perfect wide shot. Good evening, Ricky. As the Note is being mentioned for a couple of weeks, it's been what has been your favorite Bixby feature? I was amazed by playing with it, how it tells you the commands with the camera timer. For me, the really coolest feature about Bixby is its customization. I love the quick commands feature. That is probably my favorite feature. If you haven't checked out our video on the 10 best features of Bixby, go ahead and check that video out on the channel. That one really kind of shows you how great Bixby can be, and quick commands was probably my favorite out of the 10. But of course, that's because all of the other 9 can work with that one. So it kind of is the all-encompassing feature. Will Bixby be on the S7? I don't think Bixby will ever come to the S7, just to being honest. Oh, it's fine if you can't watch this because the show is on. Don't worry about it. Do I need to watch the entire ad that's before your videos to support you, or can I skip it? Very good question. So here's the thing. The old saying behind YouTube videos is this: per million view, a YouTuber gets paid $1,000. That's the old saying. However, it's not a real identical, like that simple and clean. Why? Because ads play a factor. Are you watching this video, and if it's an hour-long video, are you watching it for half an hour? Are you watching it for 10 minutes? Are you watching it for 45 minutes? Are you watching it for a full hour? All that plays into a factor, first of all. Second is, do you watch the entire ad? Is it a skippable ad or a non-skippable ad? Those are two different types. If it's a skippable ad, yes, I do get paid more if you do not skip the ad. If you skip the ad, it doesn't really hurt me too much if you watch the video, if you give a like, if you share it. You know, everything plays into a factor. So there's no real clean-cut way, but the simple answer is, to support me, can you skip it? You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you, like, please don't skip it, it really helps me. Like, no, you know, I understand. I skip some ads too, so I'm not really mad at anyone that skips an ad. But yes, for YouTubers, it helps if you don't skip the ad once in a while. You know, I mean, I'm not saying do it every time, but if you don't click skip on the ad, I have YouTube Red, so I watch no ads anymore on all of mine. But luckily, because I have YouTube Red, I support every YouTuber out there. Every YouTuber gets paid from me watching it as if I was watching an ad too. So that's a really cool thing for YouTube Red. Because then I didn't need to skip an ad and I don't get ads. I know it's far away, but what are your predictions about the S9? The S9 is, I think, going to be kind of like the S7. The S7 wasn't too big of a jump in terms of look between the S6, so I think you're going to have a similar look compared to the S8, but with the dual cameras of the Note, and probably some new features, of course, as always. What's the aperture of the second lens? I hope it's 1.7 so we don't get good light use like the iPhone 7 requires. I do not know about the... so the reason why he's asking this question, most second camera lenses, like the One Plus, so for aperture, right? The smaller the number, the better. Currently, Samsung has the reigning lead, if I'm not... No, wait. Someone else, I think, got 1.6 now, didn't they? Well, Samsung had for a long time 1.7, which was the widest aperture out there. Most other phones have 1.8 or 2.0 or 2.2. Here's the thing. Almost all telephoto lenses are closer to 2 and 2.2, whereas the regular camera, like on the iPhone, the regular camera is 1.8, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have gone to 1.7 now. I forget, but that's what the cameras have been before. I know the iPhone, so I know the iPhone 6s was definitely 1.8. I forgot if it got to 1.7 with the iPhone 7, but 1.8 is a larger number, so it's not as good of an aperture as a 1.7 on the standard camera. However, their telephoto lens, I believe, is a 2.0, and some other cameras have a 2.2. So really not as good as quality. So those are going to be the differences. And so what that means is when you zoom in, you do not have as good low light quality, and you're never going to use the zoom in low light. So that'll be a question to see if Samsung improves on that and at least gives us a 1.8. I'm not even greedy about the 1.7, but if they can give us a 1.8 aperture for the zoom lens, that would be amazing. Any news on the iPhone X? No new news on the iPhone X this week. Hi Ricky, do you know where to get a sun filter for the S8 Plus camera? Going to pics of the Eclipse and don't want to damage it. I do not, man. I've never looked into it, so yeah, I've never really played with filters or anything like that, or not filters, but well, clamps with filters or clamps with lenses on there. So no, I do not know. Battery life on the Note 8 compared to the S8 Plus, we do not know that yet. Unfortunately, battery is one of the big things we do not know yet about the S8. Why don't smartphone makers add higher megapixels to the rear camera, like 20 megapixel? 12 seems too small. It's not too big of a deal really, because the image processors are getting so great now that it just looks better. I mean, professional camera equipment, you know, really does have more like 16 megapixel average on most professional SLRs. Yes, some are getting closer to 20 now for a new standard, but I don't see it as a necessary point yet, especially when when it's that small. It's better to have a better image processor, in my opinion, than more megapixels. And the only reason you would want to have more megapixels is so when you zoom, it doesn't look like crap. But if you have an optical zoom, then that doesn't matter anymore, does it? Why do you think the iPhone 8 Pro or X or whatever will have Bluetooth 5, Intel or Qualcomm chips? Also will support T-Mobile 600 Spectrum. No, I can definitely tell you, I'm almost 100% positive. The iPhone X will not support T-Mobile 600 Spectrum. It is not something. Apple never needs to be the first. Apple never needs to be the first. So they are not. I don't foresee it. I would be shocked if they would be the first one. Now, granted, the Note 8 might have it too, of course, but I would shock if they're going to do it the first year. More than likely, Apple's going to do it next year for the 600 hertz spectrum. If you look at T-Mobile specifically, it wasn't until the iPhone 6, I want to say 6 or 6S, that it got T-Mobile's best band, which was 700, which was the 700 hertz band 12. That one, it barely came on the iPhone 6 or 6S. I want to say it was 6S that came on. And before then, Apple never had that band. And like Samsung had it for like 2 or 3 years. LG had it for a year. So other companies had that band before Apple. So it will not have the 600 hertz spectrum. I doubt it would have it. Just because Apple doesn't need to be the first to it. They like to take their time and perfect it. So, in terms of Bluetooth 5.0, I do see them having that. How will the iPhone 8 display compare to the S8? The iPhone 8 display will look more like the style of the LG G6, so it's going to be flat. It will not be curved like the S8. So it will be a flat display, not a curved display like the S8. Apple, the glass panels and the OLED displays they ordered from Samsung are flat, not curved. So that's the first important thing of the display difference, is that they're not going to be curved. The second thing is that, I mean, they're going to be OLED panels. They're going to be amazing looking. So it'll be better than any other iPhone screen to date by far. Brighter, better color, and just a lot better viewing experience. Can you use the Note FE in the US with one of the carriers? I would say you're going to have the best chance with AT&T and T-Mobile for the Note FE. Gear S4 and Gear Fit 3, what's going to happen to those? You know, I'm beginning to wonder. I'm going to ask some sources in Samsung, but I do not know if we're getting the S4 now. I've heard some things. I need to follow up, but I'm very interested. Which program do you show your banner for the live streams and videos? It's actually an image that I created. So that lower third you're talking about, that banner, right? I believe that's what you're talking about, this right here. That is an image that I created using a website called Freepik, spelled FREEPIK.com. And basically I pay a subscription of $10 a month, and I get a whole bunch of photos. I can get up to 100 different photos and images. That's where also I got this beautiful background photo as well. So yeah. Ricky, a new subscribe to your channel. Can you give me some tips and tricks on the S8 because I'm getting it this week, please? SVT lighting. Just check out our 10 hidden features and 10 more hidden features. We have a total of 20 features on the S8 that are very hard to find for most people, but getting started on those would be great. However, you also want to check out our video on how to speed up and how to improve the battery life on the S8. Those are going to be really great for you, just to really get you set up and started with it. It's going to be really good in terms of that. Your speed will be so much faster. It was funny because I have a friend, trying to see what I can say. I have a friend that is involved with Samsung, and And when I saw him, I had told him I was like hanging out with him, and I was like, "Oh, here, man, just use my phone." And he used it, and he was like, "Why the hell is your phone so fast?" And this is a person that is involved with Samsung entirely, and he was like, "Why is your phone so much faster than mine?" I'm like, "Dude, just watch my videos." and so I took his phone, I sped it up, and he was like, "My phone is so much faster now." So those speed up videos really do help. Check those ones out, and that will really help you get started. That is a really cool thing, Quiet Storm. Perspective view sounds like a cool panorama mixed with 3D view, so that is really cool. Are you sure the Note 8 will have a 4K display? At this point with the Note 8 having a 4K display, I am 60% sure. I'm not like, oh, 100% sure on that. No. I'm 100% sure on them having a 3x zoom if you saw the beginning of the show. But I am not a 100% on the 4K display. I'm probably about 60%. I will do soon. I'm going to do a predictions video for the Note 8. I think I'll do that this upcoming week. Since we're getting it on the 23rd, I'll do it the first week of August. Some weird conversations happening in the chat. Trump is talking about Foxconn. Yeah, a lot of people believe it is Foxconn he's talking about, not actually Apple. It's just the way he said it. He was like, oh, Apple is doing this. Android O on the S9. Yeah, Android O will be on the Note 8 this year, probably in December, and it'll definitely be on the S9 when it comes out. Oh, whoa, sorry, a whole bunch of things just loaded. Ricky, have you ever asked Bixby to beatbox? Why don't I ask right now? Oops, wrong one. All right. Beatbox for me.
Here's a pretty cool beat.
Oh, shit. Has some good parts, has some okay parts, but there's Bixby's beatbox. Alright, sorry guys, some of you guys are just telling me I missed some of your, whoa, I did. There is a lot that I have missed. Sorry, a whole bunch of questions loaded, and I thought I got to them, but I actually skipped some of them. Okay, what's the point of the Galaxy X? I don't see a need for it. There's a really big point in the Galaxy X, to be honest. The biggest point about the Galaxy X is that you never, if you don't have to worry about dropping your phone and breaking it, you can keep it for longer. This has been a fear of case manufacturers for a long time because then you don't need the case. You do not think about it. What's the first thing? If you drop your phone, you're not worried about a metal backing. You're not worried about anything else but the glass screen. So if you take the glass screen out of it and you no longer can break a glass screen, you're not going to be replacing your phone as much. This can be a huge wave in a bad way and a good way for phones because you're not going to replace them as often, which of course could hurt companies in the long run. So it's a very curious thing, but I mean, the reason why the tablet industry is sinking is because people don't replace their tablets that often. They don't need to replace their tablets. They replace them every, 3 to 5 years, closer to a laptop lifespan, which is not good for a product that you were releasing every year because you don't need to. So that's the main thing about it. You know, tablets aren't getting the highest end specs if you're not Apple. Apple's the only one that's really trying to invest in a high end tablet still. But Samsung, you know, every Android manufacturer is not really trying to invest in a high end tablet anymore just because it's not getting the return on it. So Apple's the only one that's really standing out. Of course, I still don't consider the Surface a tablet. I know it's called a tablet or a hybrid, but really I consider it a laptop. It is in a league of a laptop. A Surface can do much more than an iPad, than an Android tablet can do by far. And even with the latest iPad, which can do a lot more, I would still say if you're gonna spend like $900 on an iPad Pro 12.9 inch, I would say you're much better off getting a either old MacBook Air at a discounted price or one of the new MacBooks around the $1,000 to even $1,300 price range. I would say it's money better spent. What is the worst phone you've ever used? The worst phone I've ever used. I don't know. I mean, I've used some very cheap smartphones when I was first starting off to do it. But yeah, probably, you know, one of those like Metro phones or Cricket phones or something like that. Those are hard to get around for sure. Especially me as a power user. I can see their place for certain people. But phones that have like 8 gigs of storage are pieces of garbage that never should be made, in my opinion. I hate those. At the end of the day, the iPhone X is the same iPhone, same software, but different design. Yeah, but I mean, again, that hardware is going to be different in terms of wireless charging, in terms of glass backing, different look, or the wow factor of the look. There is differences to be had. Whether those differences are worth it or not is definitely debatable. If you could ask Samsung to send me to Unpacked as well, that would be great. Hey, if they can send you, Mark, that would be awesome too. Did you get my email? I sent you a question. Yes, all day. So, yes, you had sent an email, and just trying to remember this correctly, you had asked a question that HSN or one of the Home Shopping Network, yeah, HSN, had said on there, one of their people had said on there, oh yeah, manufacturers are trying to get rid of the headphone jack to make their phones waterproof. That's not true. That person, I'm not saying that person didn't know what they were talking about, but it is cheaper. It is cheaper for them not to have a headphone jack. However, is it more valuable? Look, with nano coating, you can make a headphone jack waterproof, so that it's not here or there. The phone has to be in it regardless. It's just cheaper for them not to make a headphone jack. Whether that's what people actually want, that's a whole thing. Okay. Can the S8 and S8 Plus get charged wirelessly if they're dead and turned off? Thanks. Yeah, they can completely charge from 0 to 100% wirelessly. You're seriously about this Note 8 and Samsung event? Hope you can go. I hope so too, but we'll see. Can you hear me? Sorry, someone said they couldn't hear me. Hopefully I'm able to be heard. Let's see. Ricky, why did you get the S8 Plus over the S8? Battery life. The S8 Plus has about an hour longer battery life compared to the S8 on average. For average users, but for power users, if you really kind of strain it like I did, I get about 3 hours longer than I did on my S8. As I did have an S8 at one point, but I just never really showed it off or used it just because why? If I have an S8 Plus. Hi Ricky, I think Samsung is saving the best innovation for last. Keep the faith, my friend. Thank you for always... Oh, the best invitation for last. I see. Yeah, that would be great if I would be the last invitation. Note 8 equals smaller battery, no stereo, $1,000. No, thank you. Yeah, no, it really, if it has... I would be sad if it doesn't have stereo speakers. I don't think they're going to do a smaller battery. I don't think Samsung is that stupid. And $1,000, it's going to be under $1,000, but $1,000 with tax, yeah. Do you think Samsung will release another VR for the Note 8? I do. Yep, it's not advisable to update OS in order to prevent lags, delays, hiccups, and happening for my old Note 4. Oh, is it advisable not to? Yeah, I wouldn't update your Note 4. I wouldn't. I mean, that's me personally. Hello, Mr. Shelby. Catch you later. All right, Alex. Catch you later, man. Will the Note 8 be Dream compatible? So, Google did announce that the V30 will be compatible. However, the big thing about that is you have to keep in mind is that though they said that it would be compatible, that's not necessarily that they said that the Note 8 would be. So they did announce the phone in the future would be, but they didn't say that about the Note 8. I think the Note 8 will be by the end of the year, but I do not think it will be at launch. Have you asked Bixby to divide 0, what divide 0 by 0 is? No, I haven't. Let's see. What is 0 divided by 0?
I think we need an army of mystical mathematics wizards to delve into that mystery.
I see. Congratulations, YouTube Tech Guy, on your marriage. Thank you. I've been married for not a year yet. September 24th is going to be the full year, so that'll be the full year of marriage. Sorry, not sure if you covered this already, but have you heard about the Gear S4? So here's one thing I will tell you that I can say publicly. Samsung and Tumi, I believe it's pronounced T-U-M-I, just announced a special version of the Gear S3. Now, why would you come out with a special version of a Gear S3 if you're about to launch a Gear S4? So, yeah. Predictions brought to you today by Rigsby. Oh, predictions. Bigsby already knows everything. Rigsby can tell you about the S9, every feature that it's going to have right now. But that's Rigsby. It's on a whole nother level, of course. It's not like, you know, Google Assistant. It's not like Bigsby. It's not like, you know, all these other ones. Rigsby, on a whole nother level. That's funny. In the beginning, the clock wasn't behind you. Now it is. That's freaking me out. Yeah. It's because actually I haven't changed this image and my other image, so it flips the room around. I'm gonna change that after this video. You just reminded me about that. Ricky, honest question: if Facebook became like YouTube, so ad-based revenue subscriptions, would you ever switch to Facebook becoming more serious about videos? I would if there was profit in it, yeah. But I mean, for me, my entire, you know, like here, I have over 190,000 subscribers on YouTube. On Facebook, because of the whole rebranding to the YouTube Tech Guy that I did earlier this year, I have like 300 followers on Facebook or something like that. Like, I don't have many followers. I have under 1,000 followers for sure on Facebook. So obviously it would be a whole nother thing for me to get into Facebook. Just went and sent the email to them. Hope you get an invite. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. He switched camera angles and it's a fake background. Yes, they're both fake backgrounds. Do you recommend or think it's a good idea to sign into Bing to get rewards from it? I wouldn't do Bing. I mean, I can't use a product that I know is completely inferior to my main product. So no, I wouldn't use Bing. But you can see in a great point. If you're an Xbox user, he gets free Xbox Live every month from using Bing rewards. It can't be that. I mean, that is worth it. And if you can't find what you're looking for, then you can always just go to what do you call it? What am I thinking of? You can always just go to Google after if Bing doesn't give you the right results. Whoa, a bunch of questions just loaded again. I thought the S8 was the first phone for T-Mobile 600 spectrum. Is this not correct? So I don't believe that's correct per se. T-Mobile does have gigabit speed in certain parts of the market, but that is different from 600 hertz spectrum. Gigabit speed, the S8 is the first phone to have that. So the S8 currently has that on across the US right now, but no carrier has activated yet across the US. T-Mobile has launched it in certain areas, same with some of the other carriers, so that is a real thing. And yes, the S8 is currently the fastest LTE phone on the market. You can say that. All right. The music is clashing with your voice. It's annoying. I'll turn it down a little bit, but it was pretty low volume when I checked it before I got started. There we go. Turn it down a little bit. All right. Do I need to use Samsung cables for fast charging on the S7 Edge? You can use Qualcomm quick charge cables as well, but the Samsung cable will be the fastest. So there you go. Can you use Bluetooth 5.0 feature on pairing headphones that aren't Bluetooth 5.0? Yeah, you can pair two sets of Bluetooth headphones. So I could pair these two headphones to my phone. And like my wife can listen to these and I can listen to these at the same time on my phone. You can do that even though they're not Bluetooth 5.0. You can do that. Have you been using Android O beta? No, I've not. I'm not really into beta testing. It's just too. Okay, I do have a lot of phones I could probably beta test on, but nothing that would really be that substantial to do it on. How is the Apple Watch ranked as the #1 smartwatch? Samsung is ranked 2. I have a Gear S3. It does more than the Apple Watch. So ranking is based on popularity or what? No, ranking is based on sales. Apple sells more than Samsung in terms of watches. That's all. Will the Note 8 display have Force Touch haptic feedback? I mean, you already have haptic feedback on all of these phones. You can already do Force Touch on all of these phones. Android N started it. So ever since Android 7.0, you can go on an app, hold it down, and launch your haptic feedback right away. So you've been able to do that since Android 7.0. That's been a feature. So yeah, you've had like Force Touch kind of thing. Maybe not the exact hardware that Apple has, but you've had that feature for a while. Sorry, what are the background pictures to help speed up the S8 again? What are the background pictures to help speed up the S8 again? Not background pictures to help speed up, but I'm assuming you're talking about all black wallpapers will give a better battery life for the S8 or any smartphone. So that is one thing to always have. Do you think prices of smartphones are getting too high? Yes, I do. I think companies are, no matter what, getting too greedy when it comes to pricing. But look, they have shareholders, they have all these people they have to answer to, so I kind of get it, but yeah. Do you see Microsoft officially killing Windows Phone? How sad. But we all saw the writing on the wall. I mean, it's dead. Will they officially ever say it? Probably someday, but yeah, it's dead. What are your thoughts on Samsung Dream and Dream 2 versus the S8? Samsung Dream and Dream 2 versus the S8. What do you mean by Samsung Dream and Dream 2? Samsung Dream, wasn't that Samsung Dream was an internal name that Samsung had for one of their smartphones, but I don't remember what it was. Is that what you're talking about, though? Yeah, Samsung. So I just looked it up on Daily Tech. Samsung S8 was codenamed Dream and Dream 2. So there you go. Do you recommend the Samsung S7? Again, I'm always a big believer in getting the current latest smartphone now than getting an older smartphone if you can, so that you can have it for a longer time period. But it's up to every person individually, and it depends on what you need on a smartphone. Are you going to get the new Uncharted game next month? I will get the new Uncharted game next month, but it will not be for myself. It'll be for my wife. My wife plays every Uncharted game, so I will get it for her. Are you still going to do a video on how to use green screen? Yes, I am. I've not forgotten about that, man. I will definitely do it. Hey, Ricky, what color of the Note 8 are you going to get when it comes out? I probably will get whatever the newest color is. The Note 8 is actually the 7th Note, so it's the Note 7. No, Samsung had a Note Edge when the Note 4 came out. It was not the Note 4. It was different from the Note 4. So it is going to be the 8th Note. But yeah, they played that game too late. How is your diet coming along? So I have gotten more started on it this week. I've not done the whole weighing in thing. But yeah, I've gotten more started on it this week. I have been going through a lot. As you guys know, like I'm looking for a new job right now. So that's taking up a lot of my time to do that while still doing. I really wanted to invest a lot of time this month into YouTube and see just if I go all in on YouTube, putting up videos every day. I do all the I do all the video editing, trying to bring a lot of improvements, learn After Effects, learn Illustrator and all this kind of stuff, how well it would come along. And I'm seeing some positive changes, but you know, I do what you guys see. So in some of these videos, when I play it back, I don't like the way I look from a side profile. So like when I did a car video recently, didn't like the way I looked, and I'm like, man, I have to lose weight. So I understand, and I do want to lose weight, and it's not a matter of I'm not eating that bad or anything like that. But it's a matter of finding the time to exercise, and I need to be more active. So that's really where I need to do better at. What version of Android will the Note 8 ship with? The Note 8 will ship with Android 7.1. What is this month's giveaway? I'm assuming you're talking about August. We will do that video on August 1st, I believe. So on Tuesday, I will have the giveaways. But if I'm not mistaken, I know it's the Amazon show. Amazon show. Was it a speaker? I don't know. I have to look back now on what the giveaway was, but I don't know. The Amazon show is this month's giveaway. So what's next month's giveaway? Now you got me really thinking. We have 3 things for. Oh, it's the Moto G Plus, the Moto G Plus smartphone. We're giving that away. And then the Fossil Q. The Fossil Q. This smartwatch that I'm wearing right now. I'm testing it out. I'm finishing up the review for it. This one and the Moto G Plus. And I forgot what third thing, but those are 2 of the giveaways. So, can you switch yourself to the right side because the videos are full screen chat and the chat is covering you up? Wait, what? The chat is covering. Why would the chat be covering me up on this side? Oh, is it like are you watching it on like a TV or something like that? Like where it's going on top of me? What happened to RICKY, the Android guy? We did a video back in February, but basically I was expanding to a lot of other things. So on the 5-year anniversary, I did some really big changes. and launched a new website, launched a new brand, and we've got to cover a lot more products because we are not just mobile anymore. So you've seen gaming reviews come out. You've seen smart home products more come out. We have another smart home product that I just got in today. So a lot of bigger reviews are coming because we are now just the YouTube tech guy. But there was an entire video that I did on it in February if you want to look for that. Email sent. Hopefully you get the invitation. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. Ricky, on the topic of Facebook, is Facebook a threat to YouTube in terms of video watching and revenue? No, Facebook videos are really only for 1 to 2 minutes, where the average YouTube video is anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes now, because people are watching for longer on YouTube now, whereas Facebook is really short videos. So I think it's more of a thing of quick videos versus long videos. So yeah. What past, present, and future phones do you think will rival the Note 8 at its time of release? What will rival the... I mean, the S8 Plus from Samsung itself is a rival of it. The iPhone X will definitely be the biggest rival of the Note 8 by far, of course, because that's the #1 other flagship of the year. I don't think the Pixel XL 2 is going to do as good as a lot of people think. Again, I'm very across the board. I always see what is out there. I do not think the Pixel XL is going to do well this year. I think it's going to be a big shock to people how well the Pixel XL does not perform as well. But it's because it's not as... It would not have sold that much if the Note 7 had done well. Because the Note 7 did well, the Pixel XL really blew up. I do not think the Pixel XL will do that well this year. I don't. I think that's when it's not going to do well. And as from what I've seen so far, I don't know if the V30 is going to do that well either. Do you think Huawei will overtake Samsung? No, they have a long way to go before they overtake Samsung, but they are going to overtake Apple fairly shortly on a consistent basis. Has the giveaway for July been given away already? No, the giveaway announcement will be again on Tuesday. So I'm going to give away the stuff for July, which was the Amazon Show and 2 pairs of Bluetooth headphones. So giving all those away in the first week of July. The announcement will be on, I will tell the winners on August 1st. And then we're going to announce the new giveaways for August. I think the LG V30 is going to be the phone to beat this year. They're bringing... Oh, whoa. Sorry. A whole bunch of things just loaded. They're bringing OLED panels. LG does just as good, if not better, as Samsung with OLED panels and the quad DAC. We'll see. I mean, it's not that the LG V30 might not be better than the Note 8. That's not the question. It's in terms of sales. LG will not beat Samsung. I'm being realistic right now. LG will not beat Samsung in sales. Will it be better than it? That's a possibility. That is really a possibility. But yeah. Do you think maybe in China the Note 7 was actually the Note 6? No. I'm not disagreeing with you that like they skipped a number, right? They did skip a number 6, but there has been 7 Note 7s. There was the Note 1, the Note 2, the Note 3, the Note 4, the Note Edge, the Note 5, and then the Note 7. So there has been 7 Notes out. The Note Edge came out everywhere globally. It came out in the US, it came out in Europe, it came out in China, and it came out in Korea. Alright, that's not everywhere globally, but it's most places. So there have been 7 Notes. Did they call the Note Edge a secondary Edge? Should they have changed the name at that point? Yes, but yeah. Do you think Bixby trained info will transfer to the Note 8 using Smart Switch? I hope so. I believe so, though. I think Samsung's smart enough to do that. If the Note 8 were to have a 4K display, would you be able to watch 4K YouTube videos in 4K? Yes, you would. Will the Note 8 have a good old Edge feature? The good old Edge feature? Do you mean like the old Edge feature of like the Note Edge? No, it's going to have the same kind of Edge features of the S8 Plus or S8. Hey Ricky, do you know what promotion will come with the Note 8? Will the Samsung ever address the sound quality on their phones? And did they say multimedia rich phone? They did say multimedia rich phone. I do not believe that Samsung is going to do that much when it comes to their audio quality this time around with the Note 8. I hope I'm wrong. But I unfortunately, I do not see stereo speakers in the cards. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I do not see stereo speakers in the cards right now. However, I believe the S9 will have stereo speakers, and the S9 will have a lot of influence from either AKG, Harman Kardon, B&O, or, you know, Samsung bought out Harman. They can put JBL speakers. Sorry, they can put AKG speakers on there. They can put Harman Kardon speakers on there. Whatever they want, they can put any of that stuff on there. They now own the company. So I think the sound quality will improve next year. Yes, the black wallpapers. Thank you. Where can I get them again? Get them on our website. If you guys didn't know, on our website you can get some amazing quality OLED wallpapers that are black. They're high quality. They're really good looking. Just check out in the description, just youtubetechguy.com, and you can get some amazing wallpapers there. I'm going to update that next month, by the way. Add some more. I mean, there's over like, I don't know how many wallpapers I have on that. Just, I'm going to do a quick check. I'm pretty sure I have over 100 wallpapers easily, but how many do I actually have? I have over 205 wallpapers on the website. So there you go. I didn't see any major improvements on Android O. I'm not excited for it. I think the biggest major improvement on Android O is the highlight. So if you hold down, a email or a address, it highlights the entire thing automatically because it knows what this is. So it does it a very intelligently copy and paste now. Or when you hold it down, it is more intelligent to know this is an address. Do you want me to immediately put it to Google Maps or Waze or whatever? So that's probably the best feature of Android O in my opinion. Yeah, Samsung Dream was the code for the S8, yeah. So because the Note Edge and the Note FE, oh, good call, Mark. So the Note 8 is the 9th note. Yes, technically the Note 8 is the 9th note. Now, what Samsung could say, again, I think you're actually right. I completely 100% agree with you, actually. But the Note, they could argue, well, no, the Note 7 never happened. So the Note FE is the official phone. Of course, the Note 7 did happen, but yeah, that's what they could say. What do you think about the Note FE? I think it's too expensive, quite frankly. Hey Ricky, what features do you would you like for the Pixel XL2 to be in the phone this year? Will waterproofing front camera stereo speakers be enough to top the Note 8? I don't think it'll have waterproofing. It doesn't have 2 cameras, which really kind of frustrates me. But if it does have waterproofing, it's not going to have wireless charging, which is something that I really would want. And I don't think it's going to have it because it still has an aluminum back. I don't think it'll be enough to top the Note 8 in sales, not even close. But will it be enough to get you away from the Note 8? I don't know about that either. The only thing I feel like the Pixel XL will have over the Note will be that it's going to have Android O at launch. And the Note probably won't have it till to December. I just switched from the G5 to the OnePlus 3. How have you liked it? The G5 did have horrible battery life. I completely agree. Whoa. Oh, watching on mobile, the chat covers you. I did not know that. I'll consider it, but you can't see obviously because I have a green screen. But it is harder for me to be on this side actually. So I don't know if I will be able to switch that, but yeah, it's there's things in my way over here. So yeah. I have an S7 Edge. It keeps turning on and turns on apps and changes the settings in my back pocket. Do you turn off always display? I have always display on, but check to make sure that the pocket feature is on. So there's a feature on the S8 and it was on the S7 Edge. It's a pocket feature that if it's in your pocket, it won't turn on because of accidental touches. So make sure that's on. I have heard from another YouTuber that there will be a darker blue coming out for the Note 8, so we shall see. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. It's called the deeper. It's called the deep blue, is what they're calling it. I'm taking the Pixel 2 rumors with a lot of salt. Too early to get these things right. Yeah, it is looking like the Pixel XL2 will not come out till October, which sucks. If they could have came out before the Note, that would have been big. Does the Note 8 have an SD card slot? Yes, the Note 8 will have an SD card slot. So how does it feel having the Dragon Ball Z Super? Is key overflowing? So I bought it. I have not had the time to see it. I was helping a friend, my best friend Richie, this week plan for a proposal. So that took some time. It is actually my wife's birthday today. So it is my wife's birthday today. So everyone say hi to my wife. Say happy birthday, Quinn. That's her nickname. Happy birthday, Quinn. Everyone say happy birthday to her. It's her birthday today. She turned, what? God, I always forget. Actually, I'm not going to say her age just because you should never say a woman's age, right? But yeah, so I had things to plan. I had things to do. I bought Dragon Ball Z Super, but I have not seen it. I do plan on seeing it. Tomorrow I'll probably binge the entire season. So yeah. Note Edge owner also after returning 2 Note 7s. Oof, that sucked, man. It's talking about the Note Edge. I use Zero Lemon to extend battery. Yeah, those are big ones. I actually reached out to them because, well, they kind of reached out to me on the website basically. So yeah. Does the Note 8 have an SD card slot? Yes, it's going to have an SD card slot. I already answered that one. Ricky, can you guarantee the SD card slot on the Note 8? I am 90% sure, 95% sure the Note 8 will have an SD card slot. Found the pocket feature on the S7 Edge super annoying because it kept turning off the screen in dark environments, like the bus at 615. Oh, okay, I understand that, but I mean, it cancels all touches, so I mean, I guess lesser of two evils. I don't know. Thank you for all the B-Day wishes for my wife. Besides the S Pen, what are you looking forward to on the Note 8? We talked about it. If you missed the beginning of the show, the camera features that we went over are amazing, and I can't wait for all of those. Will I be able to get my Note 7 upgraded? I don't know. Samsung required people to return them a long time ago. I know people have still been returning them here and there, but I can't answer that. That might be a hard thing. Ricky, take your wife out to a beautiful meal and get her a big present. Be romantic. Oh, I am romantic. I am RICKY, the romance guy. No, I am one of those guys that goes all out on my romantic stuff. So yeah, if you have followed me on Instagram for a long time, you know the kind of things I pull off. I didn't post today, but on Friday I took her out to her favorite restaurant in Los Angeles. If you live in LA and you want to know the best fine dining restaurant in LA, hands down I would say Kraft. It's in Century City. It is the best fine dining, amazing service, really awesome. We go there every year for her birthday. We weren't going to be able to go tonight, so we went there that night. So I surprised her this morning with a beautiful cake, and I found not regular candles, but I found candles that light up different colors. So the flame was purple and green and orange and like all these different colors. It looked beautiful. She loved it, and I got her a bunch of gifts, including one that I did an unboxing for already, but it hasn't uploaded yet. It's called the Cricket. So she's wanted that for a while, so I got her that, and she's very happy. So yeah. Oh, I'm definitely romantic. I'm definitely. What are your thoughts on Android O? I think it's a incremental upgrade. I don't think it's the biggest upgrade when it comes to Android operating systems. You heard anything about the S8 Active 5.8-inch screen and 4,000 milliamp battery? Yeah, and it's also going to be announced on the 7th. So on August 7th, which is a Monday, it's going to be announced on the 7th or the 8th for the Active, so that's when it's going to be announced. My charging cable is slightly torn near the port. Is that a big issue? I mean, eventually replace it. Oh yeah, I've heard of those candles. Yeah, those candles are really awesome. But not only that, I don't have it over here, but I got this really cool thing. Guys, if you want to impress your girl, so anyone could put candles, right? I found this really cool thing. It was actually at a shop, but I'm sure you can find it online. It is like a candlestick, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 prongs of candles, and like, I wonder if I could find it. Now I'm really curious. Candle holder. Was it a chandelier? It was kind of like a chandelier, but yes. But a lot cuter looking than that. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Yes. Let me show you guys. So it looks like this. And it looks so cool. Like when she saw that in the morning, she was like, "Oh, that's she was like, honey, that's very pretty." So it looks amazing. This isn't the exact brand, but it doesn't matter. It's the same effect. It's like a chandelier candle holder. Yeah, it really looks cool. She loved it. Definitely, if you guys ever need romance tips, just come to me. I could do a whole romance segment. I could start a whole romance channel, you know. Definitely pride myself. If you did see the wedding proposal that I did, that still, I mean, no offense to Timothy Delgado, I saw his proposal. I mean, mine was a little bit better, you know. I'm just saying. No, but really, it's always fun when to see all these different things. But yeah, I pride myself on being a very romantic guy. regarding OS, if the Note 8, if I get the Note 8 this year, should I stick with Nougat? If not, up to the OS point, should I upgrade to? I would upgrade to Android O, but I wouldn't upgrade further than Android O, in my opinion. I will wait for the Note 8, but I wonder if Samsung will honor the half price to whoever gets the phone of the Note 7. The half price thing was only for Korea. It was never for any other country. I did say that a lot last year when people were asking about it. They're like, "Oh, I heard it. I heard you're gonna get a half price on the Note 8 or the S8 if you return the Note 7." No, that was only in Korea. Samsung specifically said that in Korea only, but the reviewers ran with it as every country, and that was false. That was completely false and BS. It was only for Korea. Is the clock dead? You need to replace it. Yeah, the clock's dead. That's why I'm hiding it behind my head. Darn right, good going. R-I-C-K-Y, the romance guy. Yeah, my wife always says I'm trouble when I do the head tilt, when I'd be like, "Hey, baby." Like, you know, she knows, like, oh, God, what are you going to say now? She knows now, by now, right? You know, 7 years ago it's a different story, but, you know, now she knows. Always, one of my best friends, Rob, he always like, "Uh-oh, Ricky gonna hit him with the head tilt." When the head tilt, that's when you go like, "Hey," you know, you gotta do that. Ricky, get your wife something from Pandora. It's a jewelry store. Do you have a Pandora out there? I've never heard of Pandora as a jewelry store, so I'm not sure. I thought you didn't. There is many ways to be awesome. Yeah, of course. Ricky, give us tips on how to get ladies. Oh man, that's a whole segment. I'm a bit rusty. Back in the day though, oof. I was a poems guy too. I could write poems. I written over 150 poems in my day. So I would just be like, oh, write a poem for a girl, like a real like meaningful one. Psh, over. That "hey baby" seems so personal. Oh, I got some acting behind me too. So yeah. This is turning to a way different show at the end. All right, guys. I think we will call that a show. God, we went an hour and a half today. We're gonna call it at the end of the show. But again, if you guys didn't catch us earlier, I did one last try. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, there it is. But I did go ahead and leave you guys the Samsung. I'm gonna post it in the chat right now again. That is the Samsung. Oops. That is the Samsung email. If you want to email them and say, "Hey, send the YouTube Tech Guy to Unpacked. Here's his email address," that would be awesome. If not, then well, we won't cover. We'll just cover Unpacked from here, and I'll do the play-by-play, and we won't go to the event. It would be great if I get to go to it, but if not, hey, we'll figure it out. Alright guys, thank you as always for checking in with us. Make sure to give a like, thumbs up down below, and make sure to share this video with anyone that wants a Note 8, because those camera features, they want to know about. They definitely want to know about it. Alright guys, again, thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.